Hello lovely people, it's Candy here again. It's nearly time to go and get the kids from school. In about an hour I'm on the school run, so I've decided to come back in my tarot room. Isn't it lovely when you suddenly think, right, I've got an hour now to do something for me? And that's something today, is to spend a little bit of time with you guys, which I love, and to do a VR to the wonderful Lisa Papez, who on Valentine's Day, she did a tag called Perfect Pairs. I'll link her original video down below, showing decks that pair beautifully together. So I've been looking through my tarot collection, trying to find the decks that I think pair beautifully, and the first pair I've got for you is Amy Zerner and Monty Farber's The Enchanted Tarot, which is here, with the Nicoletta Ceccoli Tarot. Now these two really do sing together. I love it when you work with decks and they sing. This is the 25th anniversary edition, so these are huge cards with these backs. And if you're not familiar with this deck, what it is, it's textile art, or like tapestry, photographed. It's a really beautiful deck, but it pairs so nicely with the Ceccoli Tarot. I think really both decks are quite detailed, there's a lot going on, and sometimes that doesn't work, but in these decks it really does. And I've had some really fantastic readings from these two quite busy decks. So you can see it's a slightly different style. Look at those colours, those work nicely together, don't they? But there's something in it. I find that the images bounce off each other. Two different art styles, two different media used. I love putting tarot with tarot. I like putting tarot with oracle as well. I like threesomes as well as partnerships in my tarot world. Oh, look at that, that's gorgeous. Ah, the Ace of Hearts and the wheel. You can see there the imagery, how nicely it works together. Yeah, so that's my first gorgeous pair, which is upside down, which is so irritating. Look at that, swans and bunnies. So that's Nicoletta Ceccoli, the Nicoletta Ceccoli Tarot and the Enchanted Tarot, my first perfect pair. Okay, the next pairing is the True Heart Intuitive Tarot, which is by Rachel True, which, oh, a siren's going by, which is that deck here. Now I discovered that this one pairs beautifully with the Ancestral Oracle of the Celts. Now I'm actually studying this deck at the minute, and I'm working through the guidebook and making notes with the intuitive True Heart Intuitive Tarot. So this actually might be in order, so we'll have a look. There's something with the art style. It's not just the art style, which I think works beautifully, but also the colours. I mean, look at that. But it's the way it sings with the other deck. Give me messages and I'll go, well, okay, and then pull a card from this deck and it will answer any questions I've got about the message, or like the underlying energy. I've had some incredible experiences with the underlying energy. This is the Bridget card, and she appeared as the underlying energy on my Imulk reading, and I knew she was there somewhere, and there she was at the bottom of the deck. I thought, yep, I knew she was there somewhere. So both of these decks are really special to me. I really love both of them. They both are jam-packed with meaning and meaty goodness, and they're fantastic. So that is the True Heart Intuitive Tarot, along with the Ancestral Oracle of the Celts. Next pair I've got for you is the Sacred Earth Oracle and the Mary L Tarot. This is the second edition Mary L. Now these two are both intense, They're both spectacularly beautiful in art style. And I don't think not just any old deck could go with the Mary L. It's very intense. You can't just pair this deck with anything. Oh wow. And the Three of Cups. And look, that's almost like a waterfall going down the centre of that card with the lilies. Unbelievable. Wow, and look at this flower is literally the same as that flower. Can you see it? Oh look, it's unbelievable. Wow, and you can see like you've got all the flowing hair in that one. It's making me want to work with these decks again. I mean, look at that. I haven't worked with it for a while. And I think this is calling me. Oh my gosh, I mean, look at this. You literally couldn't make it up. It is amazing. See what I mean? Look, you've got the circle there, you've got the circle there. Yeah, these always do this, these decks. You know, when just sometimes you get decks that do that. And that amazing Queen of Wands with the magnetism card. I mean, the message there, that magnetic charismatic energy of the Queen of Wands, that sensual energy. You've got connection, and you've got these two different creatures connecting there. Oh, you've got a centre, and then you've got this doorway through. The Knight of Wands and discernment. I could sit and do this all day. I really, really could. Oh my gosh, influence and the devil. So if it's not the artwork, it's the message. And like the patterns in the artwork, I mean, look at this green going to orange blazing hair, and you've got this green, then the orange kicking in, and this orange blazing hair, and you've got a vista in the back and a vista in the back there. Do you see what I mean? They are wonderful paired together, these two. And again, look at that. You've got the Four of Discs there with the green valley going through, and then this green kind of valley going up the centre of that one. Oh gosh. And revision with the Three of Discs, and that generational image there with the idea of revision and something coming out of the egg. Unbelievable. I just love these two decks together. I mean, really. The Ace of Swords with that eagle, and then Fortitude with this strength and the eagle again, or the buzzard. I'm not quite sure what that is, but you know, really, I could sit here all day, but I do have other decks that I want to show you. Okay, so Heat and the Two of Cups. Oh my gosh, and look at this echoing of this mane with these wings. So that is the Mary L and the Sacred Earth Oracle. Just an absolute winner. I have to say, this is probably one of my favourite things to do. I love deck combining. I just love it. There's proper magic in there. Okay, brace yourself for an absolute corker. Kim Cran's The Wild Unknown Tarot, which I adore, with soul cards. This is soul cards 1. It's the only soul cards I've got. Oh my gosh. If we're talking magic, it's these two together. Are you ready for this? Oh, look at that. A face under the soil, split with something top and bottom. There we go. These blow me away. The Daughter of Cups. So a central image surrounded with water. I've had endless moments with this. Like, we're up in the cosmos here with the star, and look at this with the Ouroboros, the Fool, and somebody looks like they're on a potter's wheel. I mean, look at the imagery with the central red and then what looks like 2 cups either side, and that brokenness here and needing to move away. I mean, look at the angst in that face there. The Magician. Oh, what? The Magician within, in our minds. All the tools we need are there. I hope you can still hear me. There's somebody working outside on power tools. So, I mean, look at the colour of that. Look at that with, oh, every time, in like 2 things together. Oh my gosh. Every time with these decks, it amazes me. And look at the colours in this globe. They're almost identical to these really unusual colours coming out of here. The sword. What's your sword that you're holding? Could it be nature? Judgment. Oh my gosh. I don't think I really need to say anything, do I? I think it speaks for itself. It really does. Wow. Like a snake-like creature wrapping round on both. Oh, the Father of Pentacles. I love that. And then you've got this parental figure like holding what looks like a bud, and it with a leaf wing. I mean, there's so much there with meaning that could speak to parenting and or inner child. Yeah, these 2 decks together, I've always really loved them. I've always loved them. I think they're spectacular. What keeps you caught? Wow. Look at this circle here with these buds coming off, and then we've got the circle here with what looks like buds coming off here and something emerging, like the seed of who you are growing. Oh my gosh, I could do this all day. I really could. I'm sorry they're upside down. I should have sorted that. The Empress. I love it. Okay, and yeah, they're just amazing. I mean, you can just pick anywhere and, you know, you get these incredible combinations that just blow you away. So that is the Wild Unknown Tarot mixed with soul cards. Now I'm going to leave my soul cards out because the next combination that I've got is for on those days where I just need something a bit quieter and calmer, and I often come to the soul cards for that, but it also pairs beautifully on those days where you need something a little bit quieter. These 2 oracles, it pairs beautifully with this Literary Witches oracle. I went through a phase where I really wanted things a bit quieter, and I literally just pulled a card from each deck every morning, and it really did speak to me. Artistically, they're very different, but I mean, look at that. I loved it. The keywords from this deck and the imagery, you know, you've got the hand that's becoming smoke, and you've got a hand here becoming smoke. You know, it just works so nicely. And this face here with this big face here all by itself, but shining like the sun. You know, perhaps we can shine even sitting by ourselves. And a lone wolf. What do you howl for? Where's your pack? Wow, look at that. A noose with the bird flying out of the mouth and like another bird flying in. And wings as well. So, you know, what ideas could you set flight to? And a pond with this circle in the mind, like stagnant ponds or healthy ponds inside your mind. So yeah, these two together, I'm getting lost in thought watching these pan out as I'm choosing them. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look, she's holding what looks like a tower or a pot or something with smoke coming out. And look at her holding that. Audre Lorde, who I've been reading. We're back to some of the cards we saw earlier. But yeah, these two decks are lovely. So that's the Literary Witches Oracle, again with soul cards. The soul cards are fabulous. They do pair beautifully with loads of things, I find. Okay, now for a surprise pairing, I thought, but another pairing that, brace yourself for, this holds magic. The Light Seers Tarot, which is divine, with my little Barbara Walker Tarot, which I have the tinned version of this one. They're very different visually to look at, but oh my goodness, the way they work together when you pull them together in readings, it is amazing. I have loved working with these two together. You can see incredibly different styles, but they talk and they add insight when paired together in some really quite breathtaking ways. I mean, you can see here, like, you've got them using the wands almost like a red path, trying to get to this yellow, and here you've got red going to yellow on a journey out. I've loved working with these two together. So you can see incredibly different styles, but if you've got them, give them a go together. I mean, you've got a Hierophant here, a teacher with new paths to light, but look, you've got the same light at the top here and the same sort of explosion with people falling out. You've got the Five of Cups with her looking down the hole at what looks like a moon or an egg or something in the hole, or another cup or something like that, or an orb. And here you've got the same circle with something complete, something over. So is something over, and is there a rejoicing to be had in that? The High Priestess and the Three of Wands, which is fate in this, and the Goddess. I mean, you've got Goddess calling you there. You've got the Nine of Swords mixed in with the Devil, and all the threes coming out together here. And the Empress with the Nine of Swords, you know, feeling swamped as a mother in that. And the Fool over this lake of water with Temperance. So, you know, jumping off into the water but with balance. It's a similar landscape there. And the Two of Wands with the Ten of Wands, oppression. Look, she's even holding one of the wands here. So you're making plans, but you know, with every beginning there comes an ending. And are you being stopped from jumping into the plans that you're making? Are you being oppressed somewhere? I mean, I could go on forever with these two. We'll finish with the lounging man in both of them, dreaming, looking at your options, and this wonderful King of Pentacles. You know, who are you dreaming to be? Dream big, dream of being the king. So yeah, that's the Barbara Walker Tarot and the Light Seers, both a really favourite pairing. Then we have the Many Queens Tarot with the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle, which is another Kim Kranz deck. These two the art style for the backs of these, eyeballs galore. These two pair nicely as well. It's the art style with these two, the line work. Let me zoom us back in. There we go, that's better. The line work on these, the art style, it's fab. Both relatively new decks for me. But I love the line work on them both. Oh, the Devil and the Tarantula. Absolutely fabulous. Oh, Temperance and the Eagle. Look at her wings matching his. So keep it balanced but aim high. And the Knight of Pentacles and the Hawk. Slow and steady but with clear sight. See the big picture. And the Moon and the Mouse coming out at night to keep safe. Oh, and the Hermit and the Tiger. The tiger's background is the light, so go inside and find your inner tiger. And the King of Cups and a sea serpent. We're deep in the water there, delving the depths of our emotions. And the Ace of Swords and the Fire Ant. I love that. So you can see that these two decks are fabulous. I mean, the Tower and the Phoenix, could you even make that up? You know, after your Tower moment, you've got to rise again, rise like a phoenix from the ashes. And the Eight of Wands with a dragon. Wow, if that doesn't speak of movement, I don't know what does. Oh, I'm sorry, these are all upside down. Hang on, let me turn these round. Yeah, so this is another brilliant pairing. The art style goes beautifully and they talk to each other. They really do, which is what you want when you pair decks. They've got to talk to each other, they've got to enhance each other, they've got to clarify each other. And sometimes the artwork clashes, sometimes it just sits beautifully together. This is one of those where I think the artwork sits beautifully together. Okay, the next two is one of my all-time favourites, Emily Cardin's Tarot of the She, with my Witch's Oracle, which I did a walkthrough of this week, which I'll link down below. So this is my Witch's Oracle. So both very pagan, both kind of got that earthy green sort of Celtic-y vibe going on in places, and you can see they just work so nicely together. The colouring, the art style. Oh, look at that. I love it. A sun and a moon. So nightmare and evocation. You've got like the nightmarish sky. Wow. And the Maker with the crystal ball with inside, it almost looks like it's sat staring and scrying in the flames. Awakening and the Wheel of Fortune. So the settings are very similar. There's this kind of sort of very green landscape and like trees and hills. So that really pulls them all in together. But I think just the feel of the deck as well. I mean, look at that. You've almost got like the water here with the lilies on, like with the sky reflecting, and like you've got the moon as well in there. Amazing. Oh wow, the flames. winter's bite and healings and Gaia there. So, you know, healing the earth, watching the earth go through its circles. Action frustrated with protection. Yeah, I love these two together. I could lose myself all day in looking at how these work together. Just lovely. So that is the Witch's Oracle with the Tarot of the Sidhe. The next pairing is my Thoth deck with the Tarot of the Spirit by Pamela and Joyce Eakins. Now this you will have seen if you're on my Instagram, or you've watched recent videos of mine. You will see these two being paired, because these are the decks I've recently been working with. These just, well, I think it just speaks for itself. I have a side-by-side walkthrough of these as well, which I did a few weeks ago, which I will leave on a link to below if you're interested in seeing that. But these are brilliant together as well. And they do read so nicely. I mean, ridiculous, look at that. That's crazy. And as I was using these, I started off with these two together. But then I added in to readings with these two. The Osho Zen Tarot. I think I might need to zoom out a little bit. There we go. And oh my goodness me. I know it's 3 tarot decks together. But even so, it's still really worked. Now I know the Osho Zen isn't everybody's cup of tea. I do get that. But Tarot of the Spirit with the Osho Zen, and then using the Thoth as a 1 or 2 card clarifier is brilliant. So these two working together and throwing this one in as a clarifier. So I know that this is kind of like a threesome, but you know, sometimes threesomes are people's bag. Oh, look at that. Oh, isn't that awesome together? Oh, what are we going to have with success? Wow. Power, force and receptivity. Works, the mountain and the dream. So the keywords as well. Work, the meanings of song. I love the way the artwork works as well. Look at that. So I've just really enjoyed using this through last month. This was the combination really that I used throughout February, and it had me doing those types of readings where you literally just throw the card down in disbelief that that's what you've pulled, and you immediately know the message it's trying to give you. It's so crystal clear. There's no thinking about it, and sometimes it's taken me away from traditional meanings, and it's just sung its own language when I've combined it. So that is my Thoth with the Tarot of the Spirit and the Osho Zen. Okay, and last but definitely not least, I'm going to leave my Osho Zen out because I want to show you it paired with this Creativity Oracle. It's another Amy Zerner and Montefaber deck, so the same as the Enchanted Oracle. Sorry, the Enchanted Tarot. But this is their Creativity Oracle, which is a beautiful deck. 2 decks together have a magic within them, to the point that I have sat in complete disbelief working with these two together. If you have these 2 decks, then definitely put them together and give it a go and see, because for me I've had stunningly magic moments with them. So these come with messages on the back as well, and sometimes it's the artwork, sometimes it's the message. I mean, here you've got like a landscape that, you know, you can almost like line it up sometimes, and I've had that happen where it's lined up perfectly, and you've got a cat here and an eagle here. Innovation and possibilities are the key words. Oh my gosh, look at the colours here. So here you've got this lilac and apricot river with this lilac and apricot down here. I mean, you couldn't make that up with this yellow. So you've got colours happening. You've got the fall about to jump off the cliff. Trust that you were born a creative being and have never stopped being one. So you have to trust to leap. Ordinariness. So two very different landscapes in this one. You know, within ordinariness, is there something really spectacular? And counsel around your ordinary world for counsel. Adventure. And you've got the horse galloping off into the distance, whereas this child is plodding slightly more slowly. So slow or fast, you can head for adventure. But don't get static, I'm getting from this one. Capable. You can deal with whatever challenges and circumstances arise. You know, you can do it slow or fast. Projections, you've got the two faces looking at each other. Politics and resistance and completion with introspection. So you've got the mind, so this layering of bricks and this layering up. And then these chimneys, these stacks of bricks, and you've got stacks of bricks there. Time. It's almost like clock parts in its head. So like when your head is so crammed full and you don't feel like you've got enough time. So that would make me think of stop layering so many things on top of yourself. Like take time out, go and walk in nature. And innocence, you've got a butterfly here and a grasshopper there. You've got an elderly man here, where a younger child here. And look at that, the starry sky, there's magic in the sky. So you've got the Lover's card with wounds from the past. Wow. Yeah, so this is probably one of my all-time favourite deck combinations, the Osho Zen with the Creativity Oracle. Guilt and limits. I just think it opens up so many possibilities. Give it a go if you've got these decks. And that's it, guys. That is my perfect pairs VR to Lisa over at Lisa Papez. Look at this. Thank you, Lisa, for a lovely tag. It's been so much fun. Like I say, this is probably one of my favourite things to do, to sit and watch the magic that unfolds when you start pairing decks together. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I really did. I'm still doing it, as you can see. I just I mean, look at that. Oh, I could seriously just keep doing it. So you've got juggling and with a windmill. Cycles. Control and analyze. So if you're doing this, let me know, because I would absolutely love to come and see your combinations. And on these two beautiful cards that just sum up this whole idea of deck pairing and the magic that can be found, I will leave it there and say thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.